Today, my Dhamma will be focused on mind, self, who we are as human beings, how are they made out. I want to make my Dhamma talk to be as simple as possible so that even the beginners to Buddhism can understand. However, some things are a little complicated to explain in the simpler form. Theravada Buddhist scriptures are written in the Pali language, and you will hear some Pali references in my talk. All human beings are made of Nama Rupa, mental and physical activity. Nama denotes consciousness and mental states, or mental factors, known as Chaitasikas in Pali language. There are 52 mental states or mental factors, Chaitasikas. Nama groups together the other four aggregates. Form is made of material elements that have constitution, shape and color. Form can be seen very clearly. They are called the four great elements. They are earth, water, wind and fire. The body is made with earth elements. What parts of the body are classified as part of earth? The hair, nail, teeth, skin, bones, kidneys, heart, lungs, etc. And what parts of the body are classified as water? The blood, sweat, pus, saliva, mucus, fluid in joints, urine, tears, etc. What about wind? Breath is a good example of this. What about fire? Our body warmth can represent this. These four great elements combine to make our physical body. There is another group called void, which is the space in between four great elements, known as the five great elements. I could explain you more categories of Rupa when we talk about Abhidhamma in future talks. An individual is composed of the five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. And when these are analyzed and examined, there is nothing behind them, which can be taken as I, Atma, or Self, or any unchanging abiding substance. In our everyday language, we talk about body and mind. Form, Rupa, is the body. Feelings and sensations, Vedana. Perceptions, Sanna. Mental formations, Sankhara. And consciousness, Vijnana. All five, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, constitute the mind, Chitta, in Pali language. Sometimes in Dhamma talks, you hear Chitta referred to as consciousness. According to 12 links of dependent origination, nothing in the world is absolute. Everything in 21 realms are conditioned, relative and interdependent. The doctrine of Paticca Samuppada, phenomena physical and mental, are Paticca Samuppanna, happen by way of cause. That being thus, this comes to be. From the coming to be of that, this arises. That being absent, this does not happen. From the cessation of that, this ceases. It is on all fours with the modern formulation of the law of causation. That every event is result as a result of earlier event, of some previous event or events without which it could not have happened, and which, being present, it must take place. There is middle path or Aryan eightfold path, discovered by the Tathagata, is the religious life, Brahmachari in Pali. Why do we need religious life? We need religious life to the cessation of dukkha, suffering. Buddhism denies the existence of soul, self, Atma in Sanskrit language. The idea of self is imaginary and false belief that is not real. This false belief creates harmful thought of I, me, mine, leading to self-desire, attachment, craving, ill will, hatred, pride, conceit, egoism, and 10 defilements. All human beings have 10 defilements, but noble disciples have eradicated some defilements, except enlightened ones, arahats, who have eradicated all the 10 defilements. Some religions believe individuals have separate soul, Atma, created by God or Brahma, who lives eternally either in hell or heaven. Others it goes through many lives, one after the other in samsara, cycle of birth, and finally reunited with the Brahm universe or realm. This means is mine, this is me, this is my soul. Accordingly, the concept of word mine is the origin of my imagination. Clinging is known as feeling of mind. These are the concepts of craving. My hand, my foot, my face, my wife, my son, what about your daughter, my job, my position, my honor. As the concept goes to mind, the sense of I intensifies. I am encouraged to appear as I myself in society. It's stated in Dhamma that the foolish man thinks this is done by himself, thereby increasing his clinging and conceit. A being is subject to repeated existences in an endless cycle of suffering because of their ignorance of the 3 marks of existence, anicca, dukkha, anatma. Ignorance means avidya or moha in Pali. It means a failure to grasp directly. Dissolving that ignorance through direct insight into the 3 marks of existence is said to bring an end to samsara, and as a result to that suffering and lack of satisfaction, dukkha. All beings are conditioned by causes or mental formations, sankhara, which are impermanent, anicca, and suffering, dukkha, and not self, anatma. Anatta, in Sanskrit, anatma, refers to not self, which means that there is only permanent and everlasting self or soul in living beings. We come into contact with an external world through senses. There are 6 doors to our senses: eye, ear, tongue, nose, body, and the 6th one is mind. We call those sense doors in Pali dwara. When we live, we experience the external world through these 6 sensory organs or 6 faculties, ayatana in Pali. When we come into contact with an object, there is contact. As soon as the sense door process starts, let's take sight as an example. Many other chittas come just before it and just after it, in rapid succession. Those chittas are called resultant consciousness, vipaka chitta. The consciousness arises at the eye is called eye consciousness. The meeting of the 3, eye, form, and eye consciousness, is contact. With contact as a requisite condition, there is feeling. With feeling, vedana, as requisite condition, there is craving, tanha. This applies to other senses. Mind or consciousness is not a single entity. When an object is captured by eye consciousness arises, and it also arises in other places. However, it is not that only one consciousness arises when one of these sensual faculties meet with an object. There is a series of chittas arising, and that process is called thought process or processing of sense inputs, chitta viti in Pali, which I'll explain to you in detail in future Dhamma talks. We get caught up in so much mental suffering because of our inability to see that there are mind-over processes which are underway and beyond our control. It was the process of samudaya arising and nirodha ceasing as a natural and universal law. arising to cease or coming to pass, at that thought there arose in very first vision mine, myself, or soul, into things not called before to mind, and before knowledge arose, inside wisdom light arose. The method of eliminating suffering should develop your own wisdom to encraving of Rupa Sabda Rasa Gandha Pottabba Dhamma. Sight, sound, taste, smell, touch Pottarammana, body sense, and mind sense Dhammarammana in Pali. May triple gems bless you. Thank you.